Hi, everybody, and we are coming to you live from Cleveland, Ohio. It is the Dante and Marcy Love BS. Dante, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm good too. So we're both calling you from our homes like we normally do, and excited to bring to you guys some more information this week. As always, keep having your questions come in, and always remember that there's a lot of resources out there that are available to you if you have questions or you want to get some further education. So lots of things that we can share with you.
So what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? We asked everybody to ask us a question, and the question is, what is the difference between adhesion and compatibility? This question came out of Boston, and I bet everyone that's listening today probably thinks, I know that. I guess the most important thing we want to talk to you guys about today is that you definitely understand it and you definitely require it on every single job and every two products that come together on your project. So let's talk a little bit more about it. Adhesion. Dante, what is adhesion?
Well, adhesion is defined as the process of attachment of a substance to the surface of another substance.
So what does that mean?
Means it sticks.
It sticks. So regardless of what the product is, if it's a coating, a membrane, fire stopping, glazing, in plant or in the field, it's got to adhere from a performance perspective, but really important. Next, we have compatibility. What's compatibility?
Well, compatibility is materials are considered compatible when objects that come into contact with each other exhibit neither adverse reactions nor loss of performance properties. And these are two very different and distinct properties that we need to make sure that they get vetted out.
Absolutely. So critical for performance, so critical every time two things come together. Always ask for both adhesion and compatibility. If you called one of us and asked, we'd always say both. We'll always give you the answer to both because both are critical to understand. So we have some examples of what that means. And this is an example of a compatibility test. So we did AMA 713, and it's verifying compatibility of a sealant to a self-adhered membrane. Now we modify this test for any two things that come in contact to get an idea at these accelerated temperatures how they're going to react. In this case, we have a sealant, rubberized asphalt. This one's great. Great results. The sealant adhered, the rubberized asphalt adhered, and no issues. This next one, they're not compatible. So now we have rubberized asphalt with another sealant, not good. And last, rubberized asphalt with a sealant. The rubberized asphalt ran, the sealant will never ever cure. It stunted its ability to cure.
Now, Marcy, aren't those all three different types of urethane sealants?
They are. Great point. So you can't even classify technologies and assume compatibility. They can all perform differently because of their volatile content. So it's very, very important. Partner with your manufacturer, ask this question, and ask for this testing to be done. It's definitely something that we would be willing to provide, and I'm sure everyone else would too. So let's take a look at some examples. So we've got a rubberized asphalt membrane and a sealant. Are they compatible?
It doesn't exactly look like it.
They are not. What about adhesion?
Well, if it's melted out like that, it's probably not sticking.
Not. Very important. So you do this ahead of time so you don't have things like this happening on your job site. In this case, the insulation was removed, some rubberized asphalt was replaced, and a compatible sealant was used. So it was fixed. Still took time, delayed the project, so we don't want this to happen. Here's another example. We've got an asphaltic membrane and a silicone sealant. What do you think?
Well, it's probably compatible.
They are.
But I know it's not going to stick.
They do not. So in this case, they are compatible, but they did not adhere.
And this is something that should come up during your pre-construction meeting when you're in the trailer with the general, the owner's rep, the engineers, the other trades, making sure that what we're putting in place when we have these two different materials coming into a contact, that they are compatible and they adhere, and we're using the right materials in the right locations. Whereas in this one, I'm sure it was just a simple mistake by the installer that grabbed the wrong case of stuff and started putting it down.
Exactly what happened. And it got me a trip to San Antonio, Texas. So Let's make sure we know what we're putting down and when. In this case, we put a peel and stick product over the rubberized asphalt, connecting the membrane to the membrane with the self-adhered membrane, and still got our continuity solved. How about this situation?
Well, considering most of the sealant is white and there's a brown section, I'm going to say it's probably not compatible.
Not compatible. But
it might adhere.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell in that kind of configuration.
In this case, it was another rubberized asphalt membrane used in the rough opening that came in contact with the sealant. It really was not affecting the sealant and its ability to perform, but it did affect it from an aesthetic perspective. And that person sitting in that office every day didn't want to see it. So how to remedy that was they had to take the windows out because they kept replacing the sealant and it kept getting dark. So to avoid this altogether, make sure that you have a good enough space between a rubberized asphalt membrane and your interior sealant bead, or use something like Axor 110AT, which is butyl, or Dimonic 100, which is a urethane sealant as liquid applied flashing in your rough opening, and you won't have either of those issues happening. How about this example? This is Axor 230 applied on Nudura ICF.
Well, since I was there when we did this, we know that it's compatible and we know that it adhered.
Yes. So this is our winner of the day. I know, Dante, you've been doing a lot of these kinds of tests. So you've got a lot of this information. I know you guys get asked on a regular basis. What's easy for us from a Tremco perspective is we have so many products that we've been there, done that. So always call us. We can give you some help. We can give you recommendations. And as Dante mentioned, don't wait until you apply the products because you could have a bad problem, could have an issue. Put this in your specifications. Make sure you talk about it in your pre-con meeting. Make sure you don't have these problems. And if you have a question ever, you know, you can call either Dante or myself and we'll help you out, as well as all the feet on the street that are there to help you. Any final words, Dante?
Just hope everybody has a good night and they're staying safe out there right now.
Very good. Yes, everybody, please stay safe. Thank you for checking out our broadcast.